All right, we're on. What is this, 27?
Probably.
8? I don't fucking care this week. Welcome to Contra Gentiles Season 4. Emergency Recording 1. I don't know what to call this. We're coming to you live from the underground. No, it's my garage. We've been run underground. Yeah, how you doing? How's your week been?
It's been fun. It's been interesting, yes. It's a lot of shit happening, but the positive parts definitely is to just feel more liberated in many ways, yeah.
So I guess we should...
For those who don't know.
Who wouldn't know of our listeners? Well, I bet there are people that don't know.
Yeah, there probably are.
There have to be people who are just like, a guy in some random country somewhere just listens casually.
Yes, yeah.
It's like, oh my God, they are recording from a garage. What's happened? What has happened? So Jeremy got canceled.
Yes.
Quote unquote. I don't like that word. I think it's gay.
I know, but it's the word that's
It's the word that's used. It's the vernacular.
Yeah.
So what happened to you this week?
Yeah, so I got a call on Tuesday morning.
Yep.
After, working all weekend with the governor and everything. And it was a reporter, Nat Hertz, or Fag Hertz, whatever you want to call him. and he just said, hey, I have a few questions. We're doing a story about you and your podcast. And so I was like, okay, whatever. And he called me up and we talked for about an hour. I think it says like 50 minutes, but that's probably more accurate. But it was about an hour. And and then he released a story that evening and it kind of blew up and I resigned. And it just was continuing to kind of fuck with everything ever since then, I guess.
In your life.
Yes, yeah. And yeah, I mean, it's all over the internet. It was all over Twitter. And it was
very Alaska big.
It was Alaska big, yeah.
Alaska is kind of an island, so news here doesn't always travel.
Right.
I think a couple places in the mainland picked the story up. I know the Washington Post was sharing something
Twitter
about
stuff,
it.
Yeah, but Dunleavy isn't that big of a figure nationwide.
No,
that it just doesn't. It's not going to reach it. Like if it was like DeSantis,
and I don't think we have the population for him to be too big of a deal.
Right. Yeah.
If he was like opening up Anwar or something.
Yes. If he was like a rebel rouser, and then they would.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's more tame. So yeah, it just went there. I posted like a quick response, and that got like a shit ton of views. They actually played it on
the news the next day.
News, yeah. Yeah, and I think a lot of people just thought it was pretty hilarious and awesome.
A lot of people, because I'll link the article that we're discussing in the description.
Yes, yeah.
But like your response was extremely polarizing for people.
Yes.
Like people either thought it was awesome,
yes,
and a masterclass in how to respond to quote unquote cancellation, or people thought you're like the most insane, arrogant prick on earth, which is funny because that's just how people think about you anyway. Yes, like that's not like a new thing,
right? Yeah.
People are like, people. I don't remember exactly. I don't know what anybody. There was so much online about.
I know,
at least in our,
Yeah.
I don't want to pretend like it was some big national thing.
It wasn't. Yeah.
But
it was local.
It was significant.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people that I knew jumping on board. Like
Yes. Yeah.
All the major figures in town.
Oh yeah.
And they just were like, this guy, what an asshole, what a prick, what an insane person. They're like, ew, you look like you smell like cat pee and stuff.
Yes, yeah.
And someone tweeted they found all your stuff about like, you're fucking your dad while fisting a dog. You're disgusting. You really should stop that. It's gross. Like all those tweets. I said something like, I'm tired about hearing about Jews. I'm Jew fatigued. And you said something about Jews. Like,
yes, yeah. Just having fun.
It's just fun.
Yes, yeah. We like to make fun of everybody equally.
It was good.
But
you lost your job.
Yes, yeah, lost the job. But found one immediately. I'm not going to say where right now, but yeah.
Well, people will maybe find that quickly. I don't know.
No, it's so far removed from
Okay.
politics. Yeah.
Okay.
But same money, so
I know. We were like, just move laterally 2 days later.
yeah. It's like, oh, fuck you guys. It doesn't matter to me. So yeah, that's what's been kind of happening. And the one thing that kind of shocked me more is that more than any of they didn't really pick up much of any of my Jew jokes.
I know that because that was the fun thing is they were like,
Yeah.
we found 3 instances of him saying the N-word.
Yes.
And it was like, that was it? That's all you could find? Because I believe that. I mean, it's not like something you really don't throw it around for fun all the time. It's part of your vernacular, but it's not like.
Yes, yeah.
So I was just kind of shocked that they threw our show into a transcription. They said over 100 hours. I'm like, bitch, it's like 250 and more.
I know.
They're like over 3 hours.
Yeah.
But the fact they only found 3,
I know.
I was like, there has to be like 10.
Yeah, maybe.
Dude, look harder.
Yeah.
There are way worse comments than what were made.
Yeah. But yeah, so that part was kind of shocking. Like many of my racial jokes, none of the episodes about the Khazars, nothing that was that I would think.
This is mine.
I believe so.
Yeah, yours is there. Yeah.
Yeah, the comments that I would think would have gotten more attention would have been some of the racial ones.
Yeah.
And so like some of the Hitler comments, but
they didn't discuss our race realism diet episode.
They didn't really, yeah. But the one thing that people really grabbed onto was the rape episode. We only really had one episode about rape.
Do you remember which one that was?
He says it in the article.
Oh, should I look that up again?
Yeah.
The satanic gender demons one? That's a good title.
That is.
I think they must have chosen it for the title.
Yes.
Satanic gender demons. Dream cars, beating up trans people, they discussed beating up trans people? That was the funniest part to me was they were like, he said that you should get in trans people's faces. And I'm like, what about my trans people death squads? Like, why didn't that make it in? I was like, wait. So it was funny. The article's about you because it's about Dunleavy.
Yes, yeah, of course. Yeah.
But I was just like most of the comments you made that were quoted as being bad and tasteless. I was like, I know I've said twice as bad.
Oh yeah.
During real riff sessions, but I wonder if it's just not publishable.
Yeah, I don't think it's publishable.
I think they really ran up on what they could say.
And I also just think that obvious hyperbole isn't as captivating as ones that could be maybe construed as not hyperbolous.
Yeah.
And you don't work for the governor. I think if you worked for the governor, it would have been different because they would have isolated more of your quotes out. But yeah, and so the rape comments is what kind of stuck more than anything else. Anything else that I see people really arguing about online or saying that it's disgusting or whatever is just about rape. And I think that's why I kind of want to cover that a little bit because
you can go through. We can go through it. Do you want to go through the article? Do you want to?
Yeah, sure.
Do you think it would be interesting for people to hear us kind of?
I mean, I think people could look it up, but
no, not read it, but hit the points. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Do people want to hear our take about it?
Yeah.
Is it still on the front page?
Oh yeah, it's still if you type in.
They chose the whitest and also fattest looking picture I've ever seen of you.
Yes, I know. Nat's well known for that. He does the same thing to Dunleavy.
He likes
to squat down. He likes to try to get the most double chinny type of photo you can find.
Is that why his name is the woman's version of his name?
He's a faggot, so it doesn't matter.
Nat is a woman's name.
Yeah.
Let's look you up, boy. I don't know how to get to this thing. Are you on it?
Yes, I am. Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Anyway. So what do we?
Yeah, and so the main, the main, because I remember the rape episode quite vividly because it's so here's the thing.
Because I don't super remember that.
Yeah,
I remember it, but I don't have vivid.
So most of the assertions that we can make, not just as men, but just in society. Any statements about rape really is untouchable.
Yeah.
And it's a bit bizarre because it's like, why can't we actually discuss this thing that is real, right?
Yeah.
You know, and most of the episode, if you don't remember, and if the listeners don't remember, most of the episode was actually about some, semantics, but it was epistemological and ontological. It was a semantical episode about the origin of the term rape.
Yeah.
And we kind of traced it back to...
Did you re-listen to this?
No, I really remember this episode quite a bit.
Because I don't remember that one being the...
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So we were talking about...
I remember having this conversation. I don't remember what happens in what episodes.
Yeah. And so we were talking about... the etymology of the word. I think we looked it up and it was like French. But we really saw the booming of the concept of rape with correlating with the booming of anarchism and... what was it, the other one? The similar anarchism? Libertarianism.
Yeah.
Where consent became the main, barometer for
It wasn't
any
really until like the 20th century, was it?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The
Yeah.
1920s.
Yep. Yeah, that's when you really saw it boom. You would see it in the 1800s some, and the word already existed. But
the word has existed in English forever, but it meant something else.
It did, yes. Yeah. It meant something else. But it actually comes from a French word and didn't really exist until the 1700s, I think, when we looked at it.
Yeah.
It was like the 1700s was the first iteration of the word.
Should I be looking this
Yeah,
up
look that up.
Fact check.
Yeah, because I want to remember when exactly it was.
But yeah, you can keep talking about it.
And so that's really what the episode was about. It was an epistemological and ontological episode. And so the quote that they put out there,
it's the late 14th century.
14th century, that's what
but
it was,
meant seize, prey, abduct. It didn't mean sexually assault.
Yes, yeah.
It meant sexually assault several centuries later.
Yeah, maybe that's what I remember. I think.
Yeah, but still, I mean, that's a recent word. In English, is that recent pretty much?
Yes, yeah. It's a recent word in English, and like you said, it meant something very different for at least 500 years or so. And then you saw this entering this, and so the issue that we were having, and again, anybody could go back and listen to the episode, but I think if you don't want to go back, you could just listen to this. The issue that we were having was that the term then began to encompass more and more things.
Yeah.
So originally it was like this: you literally are some kind of weirdo hiding in the bushes or whatever. You go in some place and then you forcefully have sex with a woman.
Yeah.
Right. Like that was rape.
Yeah. Violently.
Yeah. Violently. And originally it was just that. It was like you don't really rape men because you were sodomizing them.
Yeah.
So rape was specifically sex with a female in the vagina. And that's what rape was. And it was forceful.
Then we have to clarify that sodomy is not sex.
Yes, and sodomy is not sex.
Because we do have some new listeners, I guess.
That's true, yes, yeah. And so that was...
welcome to the new people, by the way.
Yes, yeah.
Because the article did like double our audience, but...
Yeah.
Whatever. So thanks for that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
So yeah, that was the main concept originally, or at least traditionally, if you look back 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
But then you saw an acceleration of redefining the term rape in the 1960s. Maybe started in the 50s, but you saw the acceleration at least in the 60s.
In the same way that the sexual revolution started in the 50s.
Everything, because promiscuity became more of a thing. There was no longer any sort of... This, I think, when most of the no default divorce laws started to get passed and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
It started to eradicate the distinction because obviously... we would see, even in the most contemporary secular world, mm-hmm. we make a distinction between husband and wife having sex and two strangers having sex. Like we literally use the word hookup. We don't. Yeah. So we begin to use different words to relate to fornication and basically a hookup compared to you having sex in a marriage and the production of children. Mm-hmm. Like we just have different conceptions of this. And so in every scenario, just if we were in ordinary conversation, some things would seem weird, right? Yeah. So now we constitute sexual assault as encompassing a wide variety of things.
Yeah.
Like you could literally have two drunk 16-year-old kids, but the woman is a little more drunk than him and she passes out and he fucks her, and then that becomes rape.
Yeah.
Fine. It is what it is, but that is the way that we define it. But now if you take that same scenario and put it in a marriage, most people would not say it's rape. Let's say husband and wife went out to a New Year's Eve party. They both got wasted.
Yeah.
Then they went home. She passed out and he was just really drunk. He kept fucking her and she was kind of moaning or whatever. And she wakes up in the morning. She doesn't remember. You wouldn't say that that's rape.
I think a lot of people would know.
Some of them would, but not if the woman didn't protest.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like if the woman didn't complain, and then nobody would be like, oh,
And he's drunk, so he doesn't know.
He's drunk, and they wake up, and she'll be like, oh my gosh, did we actually have sex last night?
Yeah.
And the guy would be like, yeah, I think so. Yeah, we did. I mean, the woman wouldn't go to the house and, oh my gosh, my husband raped me. It would be so rare.
Well, I think the thing is that a lot of like contemporary women now would.
Maybe, but
not normal people.
But not normal people. I think normally when we have a conversation, we do see a distinction between those two realities. We know that one of them is like bound within a certain contract, and we see a hookup culture not being bound in that contract.
Yeah.
And because of that reality, we tend to have different terminologies for that.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the distinction really lies. When I said that I don't think you can do this, what I was saying was ontologically, I don't think that this can exist within this context.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember in that episode, immediately you were like, but you're not saying that it's okay for husband to...
No, because I think that's easy to clarify. So that's not to say, say that rape is not possible in the context of a sacramental marriage.
Yeah.
Is not to say that a man can't forcibly and violently have sex with his wife against her will.
Exactly.
But that doesn't, it's just technically not rape.
Yes, it's a different thing. Should that still be a crime? Of course.
Yeah.
If he's there beating her face and just penetrating her, it's like, yes, that is not
that's
not
really fucked up behavior.
That is not a good behavior.
Yeah.
But that is ontologically different.
Well, the thing is, we said that in the episode.
I know we did,
but
he cut that
all
out.
of it.
Yes,
Oh, yeah. It's a hit piece.
And you remember that. Yeah.
Of course.
Because that's ontologically different.
Because I do that all the time. Because I'm thinking, because obviously we're on the same level. And when you're kind of going, you're in your mode, I think about the things that people might extrapolate from what you're saying. And I actually like walk you back a little bit. And make you clarify things.
Yes. And
which I actually in the article stated that I did about the Holocaust stuff.
Oh, yes.
They said you said a horrible thing.
Yeah.
And then the next sentence, they're like, but Cook then clarified.
Yes.
And Jeremy was like, no, didn't actually hold that opinion. Like, you guys are lying.
Yes, I know. Yes. Yeah. They're just lying. Yeah. And, and so, when we look at these things, and historically, that's really what it was.
Yeah.
Like spousal abuse was a thing for a longer time.
Yeah.
There was no real time where we would say that it was okay for like a guy to break a woman's face if it's his wife. Like, no, that's not a good thing. Now, were there different levels of like slapping a woman if she's being hysterical? Yeah, that was more accepted culturally. Throughout time, but not like the overt beating. But
they don't make a distinction.
They don't make a distinction. Exactly. And so that's really what the episode was about. It was basically a semantical episode trying to parcel out definitions.
They didn't talk about us talking about whether women could masturbate.
I know, right?
That was like a 45-minute discussion about female masturbation.
Yes, And in the end, what we were concluding was that if you encompass all these sexual actions to be constituted as rape, essentially what has happened now is basically any sexual act that I don't like is called rape.
Yeah.
Like that's really what the term means now.
Yeah.
It lost its original definition.
Which, if you were going to use that definition, yes, a husband could rape his
Yes,
wife.
of course. Yes, yeah.
But we refuse that definition.
Yeah, we were refusing it because because we talked about that. The problem then is that we begin to blur the lines between women who actually suffer from a stranger beating their face in, penetrating them, choking them, and stabbing them. Like, and them surviving this. Yeah. And then you want to say that is the same as a husband fucking his wife who was drunk the night before.
Yeah.
And I'm saying those aren't the same things. When you begin to blur those things, you trivialize them.
Yeah.
You trivialize the ones who are actually suffering. You trivialize the actual rape victims. And that is just, I think that's a bad thing to do.
You're actually defending rape victims.
Yes. It's like, what we should be doing. It's like, no, this is this.
You're accusing people of stolen valor. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, we should be talking about it correctly and not constantly expanding the definition.
Yeah.
Like it's to the point really that virtually anything, it can't even be in writing anymore. Like a marriage contract is a contract, right? So it has to be a contract written like 2 seconds before penetration. Yeah. And then when you have the head in, you have to sign another contract, be like, now put the shaft in. Yeah. And then after that, you have to have another contract that says now you could rub. And then after 3 rubs, sign another contract, now keep going. It's like what is it then that allows it? Because we've expanded the definition so much that it lost its meaning, it lost its gravity, and it trivialized actual.
Same with sex.
Same with sex.
Also,
yeah. We've done it with sex because now because of
literally any sexually stimulating act is sex.
Anything sexually stimulating is sex, exactly. And now we no longer make distinctions between marital sex and fornication. It's like, no, these things are actually 2 different things.
Yeah, like a married couple.
Yes, you can't.
Having procreative sex is not the same thing as a dude like rubbing his dick between 2 pillows.
Exactly.
Or something.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not the same
Or planting a seed into the earth. It's like these are ontologically different realities.
Yeah.
And so if when people were saying that I was like a rape apologist, like how is that?
What was that one thing? Was like Jeremy Kubis, pro-rape and pro-Hitler.
Yes. Yeah. I was like, how is that?
It's like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
What did Amy say? She said,
it was good, I thought. Yeah.
No, what did she say? She said, I remember if she said it to me or she said it on Twitter.
Yeah.
She said, like, we know no one actually listened to the show because if they did, they'd be Catholic by now.
Oh, yeah.
That was like true.
Yes, yeah.
No one actually sat and listened through that.
Yes, yeah.
We're reasonable people.
Oh, I know. Yeah, so that was that episode. The other one that bothered me a lot was where they were saying that I had where I claimed that sex is not on the highest of the totem pole of morality.
Yeah,
and so
people, they said rape, but
rape. I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't say sex. Rape. Yeah. The rape isn't right, and people were like really, really shocked with all this, and so
that divorce is worse than rape.
Yeah, the divorce is worse.
Yeah.
Ultimately, that was the conclusion, and so.
I think that was in the headline.
Yes. If you come at that statement without understanding the argument behind, and you just come at it with like a consequential utilitarian point of view,
in
it's
a contemporary context.
Yes, it's going to sound insane because, I mean, it's hard to say, but it's in the immediacy of rape. You would say that the consequences of that is more dire, right? So someone gets raped. And if you're going to judge it based on its consequences, what the woman suffers from that is immediate and is going to be more grave, maybe than divorce. And that's kind of hard to say because divorce affects much more than just one person. Divorce also affects children if you have children. Mm-hmm. And there's many children that become suicidal and they unkill themselves or whatever. And so it's really hard to judge the consequences. But if you come at it with the consequences, you can make a pretty solid case that rape has more grave consequences than that. But that was not at all what we were talking about.
Yeah.
We always, and if new listeners are listening to this, we always talk within the framework of Aristotelian metaphysics and Thomistic moral law, which is the natural law theory.
Yeah.
And that is what we're always looking at it as. And so when you have actions that are sinful, they're either going to be intrinsically evil or they're going to be accidentally evil. And what is meant by that, and I know our normal listeners would know, but I think it's important to say this out loud. What's the difference with that is that a certain act has its evil nature by taking a thing that is inherently good and perverting it.
Yeah.
While an intrinsically evil act is that its very nature, its essence of the act is antithetical to reality or to goodness itself.
Yeah.
And so like a lie, there are no degrees or a situation where a lie is not antithetical to truth.
Yeah.
That is the nature of a lie. There is no abortion that does not end with murder. That is the nature of abortion. Yeah. There is no act of murder that doesn't end with taking of a life. And all these actions are intrinsically evil. they're not accidentally evil. Now, in a case of killing is different than murder, and so we could
killing
get to
is
that.
just killing. Murder is the
yes.
unjustified killing of an innocent person.
Exactly, yeah. So that's why it's within its nature. Now, when you take sexual morality, food morality, and like I guess corporeal morality, those are always in a context of accidentally evil.
Yeah.
Whatever. So if somebody gorges themselves and becomes 600 pounds, the eating in itself is not inherently evil. There's nothing inherently evil about eating.
Yeah.
Eating is inherently a good act.
Yeah.
And this is what
because it fulfills the teleological
yes.
nature of the action.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so when it becomes evil is when you pervert that act. And so if you gorge yourself with food, you are over consuming a good.
You're perverting it.
Yeah, and which becomes perversion,
Yeah,
right? Yeah. In terms of excess. If you look at like Aristotelian virtue ethics, that's called excess, and then the other side is called deficiency.
Yeah.
And so deficiency will be like a bulimic, somebody who consumes food and then vomits it. Is that now you are committing an evil act of eating because you're not actually fulfilling the teleology of nutrition in your body. You're taking on one aspect of eating, which is the pleasure of consumption, without the nutritional aspect.
Yeah.
And so then that becomes perverted as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so like gluttony is intrinsically different than lying, because lying is intrinsically evil, while gluttony is accidentally
Is a
evil.
perversion.
Yes.
Good, yeah.
And then with sexual sins is the same thing. So then when you take something like rape, the thing about rape is that now I'm not talking about sodomy, and we can't talk about that because now that's a different level of perversion.
Yeah.
Right. That becomes so antithetical to the nature of sex is that sodomy is not sex at all.
Yeah.
Right. So you're not even perverting sex with sodomy. You're not you're not acting on it.
Yeah.
And so that's much more intrinsically evil than the other. And then when you look at rape, if you're raping a woman and you ejaculate and you produce a child, the thing is that the production of a child is not evil. There's nothing inherently evil about producing a child.
Yeah.
There's nothing inherently evil by ejaculating in a vagina. There's nothing sexually evil about sex per se. So what is evil in the act of rape? It will be the violence.
Yeah.
It will be taking away the person's free
violence,
will. Yeah,
the
the
aggression.
violence, the aggression, the taking away the free will, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Those actions perverted that act of sex.
Yeah.
And so since it perverted the act of sex, it becomes evil.
Yeah.
But it becomes evil because of its accidents, not because of its intrinsic quality of sex.
Yeah.
And so because of that, you could begin to see the reasoning of the scholastic thinkers of why those kinds of activities were not constituted as the most evil of actions.
Yeah.
They were only constituted as accidental evils that can be corrected while still doing behavior. You can't correct lying. It isn't like, okay, that's just too much, you just got to do a little bit better.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's still evil.
There's no temperance in lying.
There's no temperance in that.
Yeah.
And so if somebody has the proclivities of rape, it's like you could correct his proclivities.
You could redirect his
desire for sex.
His like natural yet perverted urge for sex that,
for that.
Towards
and there's some couples that do have that perversion.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know it becomes kink at that point. But like they role play in which he hides and she can't know when he's coming in, and then he comes in and starts like smacking her and all that stuff. Like people actually role play that because there are some people that are that fucked up, right? It's like they have those proclivities so much that even with their spouse they have to play it out in their romance. Yeah. And so it's bizarre and it's weird, but again, that's what makes that different.
Yeah.
That's what makes those type of evil acts different than the other ones that are a lot more inherently evil. And so it wasn't as if I was downplaying rape.
No,
it was simply we were in that episode categorizing the behaviors. The sinful behaviors that people do.
Yeah.
And so then when you take divorce, what is divorce? Divorce is very similar to transgenderism, in which I would say are intrinsically evil.
Yeah.
Because what happens with transgenderism, what happens with divorce is that you believing in a lie and you're acting on that lie. It's like if you got married and you got sacramentally married and you produced children and you lived within that, and then you get divorced, it's like, well, yeah, but you're still not.
Yeah.
Right?
I know.
You're still bound together with these children for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Right. You're actually not that. You're playing pretend.
I mean, the church could discern that you
right. They can.
You were never actually married,
which is different. Yeah. But
because I think there's too much equivalence drama between divorce and annulment.
I know there are, yeah.
People don't know the difference.
Yes. But that's all that was episode that we were saying at that episode. Then that's why it was worse, because of its nature of being that. Because I would say
intrinsically evil.
Yes, I would say it's more intrinsically evil when you have. Well, it isn't just more; it just is. While the other one is not.
Yeah.
The other one is accidentally evil.
Yeah.
And it's the same with transgenderism. It's like yes,
divorce is not even an act. It just isn't.
It's a lie.
Yeah,
it's like yes,
an act can't be a lie. Like
yes, it lacks.
There's no actual act of divorce.
Yes,
you can't dissolve a marriage. Yes,
you're just pretending.
You can't.
It's the same way that a man cannot become a woman.
Yeah,
it's like you're not actually transitioning. We're saying it, and we're playing pretend, but you're not actually transitioning. You're still a dude.
Yeah,
and so that's what we were saying in that episode, and so it was those parts that I just found just obnoxious, because when people were saying that a rape apologist or that it was absurd, it was like, it's not absurd. You have to look at the deductions in which we were proposing.
Yeah.
And you have to understand the framework in which they're coming from.
What did you say in your response video? You're like, this show is for intellectually inclined people.
Yes.
You essentially said this is for intellectually inclined people. And if you're not one of those, take my word for it or don't listen. Like, I know we're smarter than you. I know you're mad about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that's why throughout history, until the 60s or 70s, marital rape wasn't in the law. It just didn't exist. No fault divorce didn't exist. These things was not part of the law.
Because if no fault divorce exists, then marital rape must exist.
Exactly.
Logically.
And yes. Yeah. And that's what kind of the connections we were making in that episode. It was like, ultimately, with the destruction of marriage, and then there would be no longer distinctions between a hookup and a marriage.
Yeah.
There cannot be anymore, because if you're saying that there is nothing there is no real contract, there is no real union, there's nothing there that you could just walk away. It's like, yes, then there is no distinction between hookups and marital sex. And once you get to that point, you get into the weird chaos that we are right now.
Yeah.
And and so
it's the same thing as like is baptism real or not?
Yes.
If it's real, then it's binding. If it's not real,
yes.
Then if it's up to you to decide whether it's sacramental or not, it's not real.
Then it's not real. Yeah, exactly. And that is what happens to many of the Protestant world, because for them really is that salvation prayer, that weird prayer that they say, that becomes the baptism.
Because that was the weird part, is like, I won't necessarily name anybody.
Yeah.
But I think the weirdest thing for me through all this, because I mean, obviously the focus was on you because it was a hit piece about you.
Yeah.
But to discredit Dunleavy, if you weren't working for Dunleavy, they wouldn't nearly.
Nobody would care.
No.
Yeah.
And I think the weirdest part is that a lot of the people I know, I don't know a lot of people, and I don't remember a lot of people reacting.
Yeah.
But the people closest to me that reacted negatively, it's almost like they've gone insane.
Yes, yeah.
It's like they read the piece, and obviously I'm named in it, and I'm referenced as having discussions with you multiple times. And like if there's a radar, I'm also on it. Like we're, we both co-host. I don't know if it's fear for me or if they really can't tell they're falling for a hit piece. Like they really cannot tell that those statements either make sense if you just listen to it.
Yes, yeah.
Or are like hyperbolic and removed from context. Like that's what a hit piece is.
It is, yes. Yeah.
Is to remove things you say from context to make you look bad.
Yes,
like they did a really good job of that.
Yes. Right, yeah.
But it's weird to me, the people I know personally who, whose intellects I want to respect, just immediately fall for it.
Right.
Like the second they...
Yeah.
Then you explain, you're like, no. Like that's a sentence taken out of a they said they're like or average 2 hours.
Yes.
You're taking that sentence we said out of context.
Right.
Which I know is a complaint for everybody. It's like you have to, the long form discussion thing.
Right. Yeah.
Like, but you can't just, you can't just go divorce is worse than rape and throw it in a headline and you just can't be honest and say that.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's the point is to make people look bad.
Yep. Yeah. To take some of these statements
because anybody that's listened to the show,
I know,
does not.
No.
Just thought it was awesome. Like, I was talking to Anne Marie, like,
yeah,
she had no issue.
Yeah.
Because she co-hosted the show for
I know, yeah. She knows.
Yeah, she knows what we're doing. She knows what the project's about. And it's like, remember I was talking to my mom, my mom's like kind of, she's worried and she's upset and she's like, I can't believe, this.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, first of all, you can't believe we were saying those things. You know me, Jeremy, you've been in the room. Like, what are you talking about? You can't, why are you surprised? Why do you get to be surprised?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's like, I almost want to ask, do you know what spiritual warfare is? Like, do you know what we're doing?
Yeah.
Because that's what the only reason I do the show is because I know it moves people spiritually. Like,
exactly,
I don't do this because there was a solid quarter of the tenure of the show where I didn't really want to do it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I was like really going through stuff.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. But then I remember I'm like, oh, I've gotten, we have a few dozen testimonials of people who are like, your show either took me from being an atheist and made me not an atheist anymore, and now I'm Catholic, or it took them off over the Protestant Catholic divide to the proper side.
Yes, yeah.
Or they reverted because they listened to the show. Like, there's so many stories.
Yes,
we and I don't take credit for any. We don't take credit for any of it.
Right. Yeah.
We're just shitheads who like to laugh at like fat people jokes, black guy jokes, Jew jokes, gay guy jokes.
Yes. Yeah.
We just happen to be kind of articulate, I guess. But like, it's not about us. It's not about me.
Right. I know it isn't. Yeah.
And like when people, they get offended or they get, scandalized or whatever, and they don't get what we're doing.
Yes.
That's fine.
I know. Well, that's what let me keep going. Like, after I got the job with the governor, I already knew that this is going to be an issue.
Oh, I know. Your name's all over it.
Yes. And the reason why I didn't stop was because, especially after praying about it, it was like, well, really in the end, we're all going to die.
Yeah.
Right? The money is not going to follow me wherever I go.
Yeah.
And in the end, if it actually helps a lot of people to come to the truth, to come to the church and experience.
Well, and it already has.
Yeah. Of course, I'm just going to keep doing it then.
Yeah.
Because if you ask me, or choose money over that, I can't. I can't in good conscience be like, no, I'm gonna delete all the episodes, get rid of it because I want this paycheck.
Yeah.
I just no, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I would rather
because even if we had like political ends,
yes,
and we were like a political thing,
it's
and we were
different,
trying to like exercise authority or like move the levers of power or whatever,
right?
That would be different.
Yeah,
but that's not what this is about. I almost feel like I just want to. I feel compelled to address what the hell we're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. It's like Sean, our Patreon listener.
Yeah.
We do it for Sean.
Yes, we do it for people like that. Exactly.
You do it for JJ.
Yes.
You do it for I don't want to dox people.
Yeah, we could name a lot of people.
Like lots of people over the course of the almost 3 years we've been doing this. No.
Josh Ham?
3. Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, it was a beautiful story, man.
Oh no.
That
brings you to tears.
It does. It's like that's why I do it.
Yeah.
And there's no way I could have chosen a job over that. Because
it's you get to do it.
Yes.
Like you're put here to do it.
Exactly, yeah. God did not grace me with the ability to comprehend and to explicate these things to keep it to myself.
Yeah.
He just didn't. And I'm fully aware of that.
Yeah.
It's not for me. It has never been for me. It is for something like this.
Yeah.
It is to be able to talk to people, to, like when I'm always going to remember the day where you and I were in that stupid competition and we got breakfast and we had a serious conversation about God and the Captain Cook. It was like, it's for that.
Yeah.
And
Such a badass story. That was when you knew. You're like, okay.
yes,
You're crazy. Like
yes,
I'm crazy.
Yep. And I'm always going to remember that. And
When was the last time we talked about that story?
very long.
Should
yeah.
we talk about it?
Yeah, let's do
okay,
it.
we
yeah.
can talk about this. I think this was I first like earned your respect as an equal. There was the camera store we worked at. There was one parking spot out back. I'm sorry if you already know this. I think it's been a long time since we've talked about it, so I hope. There's one parking spot, and on was it Saturdays? Yeah, on Saturdays, Jeremy or whoever got the space first won. Do you remember? I had to have instigated it.
You did, yeah.
What did I say? Do you remember?
No, it just happened that I parked there, and then the next day you came a little more early,
Yeah.
and then you parked there.
Yeah.
And we didn't say anything to each other, right? We really didn't. But at that point, I was like, oh, I know what he's doing. And so like the next 3 times.
Yeah, it was earlier and earlier. And
early.
then both of us, I showed up at like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Was it
And
5 or 6?
I was already there.
Because the store didn't open until 10? No, 10 or 11?
No, it was 9. No,
it was 10 because it was winter.
Yes, that's
This
what
is
it
why
was.
it sucked so bad.
Yes,
it was
yes.
in the middle of winter, wasn't it? Was that cold?
Yeah. And Amanda was like, "You're crazy. Why are you getting up so early?" I was like, "I gotta win."
I know, but I remember getting up, and I had to explain to my mom because she hadn't gone to school yet or something. I don't remember. She was up super early, and I'm like getting ready for work. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I got to get the parking spot." And I remember showing up at like 5:30 in the morning, and you're sitting in your fucking van, like watching The Office on your phone. And I was like, "What the fuck?" And I think you got out of your car.
You?
Yeah. You got out of your car, and I think the first thing I said, I'm like, we got to stop doing this. We gotta just you can have it. Like we can't be doing. We're both gonna sleep in downtown for a week. Like, because the second you take your car out, I'm gonna put mine there, and it's gonna be there till Monday. And I think it was that moment we were like, all right, we're both psycho.
So I bought you breakfast. I felt bad. I was like, fine. And it was probably the first serious conversation we had about theology. I don't
remember that. What was the conversation?
Yeah, it was that you were kind of, you were in your state where you were not really anything, I would say.
Yeah.
You weren't really Christian. You weren't.
Was I doing the Bertrand Russell suspension of belief thing?
Yeah, basically suspension of judgment. And so it was the first time we talked about the famous Aristotelian Thomas Aquinas argument, and you were just like, that makes sense. I remember that.
I have no memory of that.
You don't. Yeah, for you, it's like that just makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of a conversation in that day was. And then, we just kind of grew in friendship.
Yeah.
And then,
because you, Joe, and I have no boundaries with what we'll say.
Yeah, we don't. Yes,
if you want to hear that, the first episode we have with Joe. Like, why didn't we talk? We were talking about like pleasuring yourself to live action Dora the Explorer. Like, why is that not in the piece? Like, we did way worse than that.
Oh my God.
We've gone way farther than.
It was
because those are jokes.
Yeah.
And I think they wanted something inflammatory.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, because I don't want our jokes. Because
I know that's what I mean.
Okay,
if
that
it's
makes
an
sense.
obvious.
Because I'm sitting here and I'm like, what would be like the most insane thing you could write out on paper? Talking about suicide pods and stuff. Like there's way worse.
Yes, way worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was just a beautiful journey. I think just you coming to the church from
because that took
point.
What
many years?
6
5
years?
Was it 6?
5?
Yeah.
5 years.
5 years. Yeah.
Because I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, and then you were friends with Anne Marie. She talked to you about it. It's like
Anne Marie could convert anybody.
Yeah,
seriously.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about her. I talked with her on the phone about what's going on for like 5-6 minutes.
Oh yeah.
You can't talk to her and not just be washed with peace. There's something about her.
Yeah.
She is. And I think that's what she brought when she was with us.
Yeah.
She also made us yell at each other a lot more.
Yeah. Well, I think the yelling is always one way.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Because you make me so insane. Because then she eggs me on because she thinks you're being insane too, and she feeds my energy.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But she's so strong.
Yes.
In her faith, in her character, in just everything.
Yes,
and I think that she like introduced me to Teresa of Avila.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's just like that was my first like track.
Yeah.
Into it. Was Teresa of Avila, obviously my confirmation saint and stuff. But it's so funny because I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Remember you asking me, does nothing exist?
Mm-hmm.
Was that during that conversation? Would you have used that as an example?
Yeah.
Okay. So I do remember that.
Yeah. No, it was good. And then
and I said something like, if you can define it, it exists, and you're like,
yeah, can you define it? Because the nothingness is simply the absence of something, and so it's like it's an indefinable.
That was term. That's the one to me. So I think you can remember your first,
of course, like
red, quote unquote red pilling argument about like God or metaphysics or whatever. That was the one.
Yes,
Does nothing exist? And I said, well, if you can define it, it exists, and you're like, well, by definition, it doesn't exist.
Yes,
and I was like.
Yes.
And that was like it set the ball rolling.
Yeah. No, it was amazing. And I think
we had Eggs Benedict, right?
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. Captain Cook's Eggs Benedicts are quite fantastic. And it was just very all those things like for all those reasons is why I think the podcast is important. It's for those things, and I will never I don't think I'll be willing to give it up for anything except my own family. Mm-hmm. If there's something that they really needed, they needed me, and then that'll probably be the only thing that would detract me from it. But there is no.
You try to.
Try
to keep it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Like just money and stuff. There's other ways to make money.
Yeah.
I find ways always, and so I have no. It was stressful. Like it was a stressful 24 hours not knowing what I'm going to do. But when I found it,
you do the Latino thing where you go dark.
Yes. Yeah.
All Latinos I know do that. If they get really stressed out, radio silence.
Yeah.
Like, well, because I know when you do that, you're like you will be fine, but you're in like deer in the headlights mode.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
Because I know that you're never like distraught about stuff like that.
Right.
But that's your version of being upset. It's never being just upset. It's about going into decision plan mode.
It is,
you go into like, you scramble the jets.
Yes,
kind of, like this. It was funny because I remember I was, I obviously was texting everybody I knew, especially all of our, Twitter friends and stuff. I was everybody, like I was flooded with messages, like flooded.
Yeah.
And people were like, how's Jeremy? And I'm like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fine. He's fine. He'll be fine. He doesn't lose. He's fine.
Yeah.
But I just know that.
Yeah.
I think I've known you through probably 4 real shit storms.
Yeah.
3 or 4 maybe.
Yeah.
I could probably name them, but not on air, but like I could probably 3 or 4, and you just do that. Like I won't hear you for like 1 to 3 days.
Yes. Yeah.
And I just like I'll text you as much as I want to text you, but I don't expect you to respond.
Yeah.
Like if I have thought, because I know that sometimes you'll read something and just like you're just not. You're just in.
Yeah.
You're flying under the radar for a minute, so you can back off and think about what you're doing.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I don't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I haven't talked to him in like 18 hours. And they're like, well, is he good? And I'm like, will be. He's fine. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
He's Jeremy. Does anybody think he's not going to be fine? And then I tell him, like, yeah, I got a job. 2 days later. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, he's Jeremy. He doesn't lose. like I'm not kidding.
Oh, man. Yeah, and there's hopefully if nothing, and if everything goes well and the story doesn't die down too much, Monday is going to be a very good day. And I'm not going to say exactly what it's going to be, but
if nothing changes.
So some of the more closer people on the podcast already know, but for everybody else,
not a lot of people know.
I would say, just tune into our Twitter and things might get really, really interesting on Monday. It's going to can be beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's probably all that we could talk about in terms of the other episode was Hitler. I guess I do want to comment a little bit on that one. That was a more recent episode.
Because in the thing,
yes,
in the article,
yeah,
I explicitly make you state that the Holocaust was bad.
Yes, exactly.
And you're like, yes, it was bad. And I'm like, it's right there.
Yes, yeah. Let me see. Or yeah, the women want to be taken by a man. Do you want to say like I was talking about rape?
No, you were not talking about.
Yeah, I was talking about
that
women don't want to fuck pussies.
That's all that was about. So viciously dishonest.
Yes, yeah.
Like, no, you were not saying that all women want to be raped. That's not what.
Yes.
It's obviously not true.
Right, yes.
Normal women do not want to be raped.
Like, of course, yeah. That's not what I mean by taken by a man. They
want to be pursued. They
want a man that is strong and takes them. That's what they want. They don't want like some
swinging on the vine.
Yes, yeah. They want the Tarzan who just grabs them and just like swings. That's not rape. They just don't want some pussy guy be like, oh, does she like me or does she like me? I don't know. I'm just gonna stand in a corner and wait for her to talk to me. Well, it's okay. I guess she's not gonna talk to me. I'm used to it. It's like that's what she doesn't want. No woman actually wants that.
Because you even when you say take her, it's like a metaphor.
It is, yes.
You're not saying literally
yes
rape a woman. You're saying get in there and
yes
prove that you're the one for her.
Right.
Get in there and convince her.
Yes, and the way that you
get
do
in there
that
and play the game
is making yourself a proper man for her to desire. And so it's dumb. It's so dishonest and it's ridiculous.
I want to know how they found that quote because that didn't come from the same episode.
That didn't. That was
no, and I don't know because that's such a benign. I don't know how you would keyword search that because they just keyword searched the whole thing. No one listened.
No, they didn't.
Like, oh, I listened to 100 hours of this. I'm so disturbed. No, you did not listen to it. You just said you used a transcription.
Yes.
Software.
Yes.
You did not listen to this.
No. And then the quote that they put about the Hitler one was like he wasn't just a lunatic who wanted to kill the Jews. I think he was somebody who recognized the virtues of living homogeneously.
You didn't say he wasn't a lunatic who wanted to kill the Jews.
Exactly. I said he wasn't just merely that.
Just that.
He wasn't just that. Yes. Because obviously, we were talking about it is, and then I said, I think some of the principles are worth talking about. Mm-hmm. And the reason why we were talking about that was because we're saying that Hitler didn't just stand in a podium and be like, you have to vote for me because if you vote for me, I'm going to get rid of all the Jews. Yeah. Like anybody could look up his speeches. His speeches are on YouTube. His speeches are online everywhere. You could look at his speeches. He doesn't ever just stand up there and talk about how we should kill the Jews. Ever. Not once. Nobody could find me a speech in which he says that.
Yeah.
This is why most people were actually surprised. Most Nazis who voted for Hitler were surprised of what was going on with the Jews. It wasn't as if Heidegger was sitting there and be like, yes, I am writing Being in Time and I am hoping that the Jews will be gassed. None of that was happening. So how did Hitler gain so much popularity? Now, people correctly say that, he didn't win majority vote because it wasn't a two-party system. Yeah. So he won the plurality. Fine. But he won the plurality of votes. He won the election. He didn't just not win. He won the election. So how did he win the election? He wasn't just spouting out things about the Jews. He was spouting out truths that everybody fucking agrees with. Is there anybody on the left that doesn't think Denmark is amazing, that doesn't think like Switzerland is, it's so beautiful over there, that doesn't think that all these countries, Japan,
South Korea,
China, I mean, all these places that
Thailand,
India, yes, we could go down. Why do they
we could just read an entire list of all of the ethnically homogenous countries.
Yep. And then see their crime statistics.
Yeah.
See
Singapore,
yes.
Malaysia's not bad.
Yeah.
Well, Malaysia's got 3 races, but they do,
yeah. But the thing is that what he was saying and what many people recognize even till today is that homogenous societies do function better. It is something that I think is that something worth talking about? Why is that not something worth talking about?
Yeah. No one is mad at Japan for being ethnically homogenous.
No, yes, exactly.
To me, the best example is Japan.
Japan, yeah.
They have like one murder a year.
Yes.
Like literally.
That's what I mean.
And
it's
it is literally because they're a giant family.
They are, yes. And so that's why there's many people in Spain, many Spaniards that talk about this, that are quote unquote pro Hitler. It's like they're not pro Hitler. When people want to talk about those things, so I know I'm kind of jumping here, but back in I think it was 98. It's like a 4-year time period. I think it's between 98 and 2002.
Yeah.
Again, anybody could look this up. One of the universities in the U.S. did a poll. And they listed all of Hitler's agenda, but they didn't list anything about the Jews, but literally everything else. Yeah. And then they put, because remember, like he was a vegetarian. Yeah. He believed in animals' rights, everything. And then he put the list of Clinton's agenda, but they didn't put their names. Yeah. So candidate A and candidate B. Yeah. And they say, who would you vote for? It was like 80% of people voted for Hitler. Right? I mean, this is a real poll that happened. Yeah. And so why is that real? Like, why would that be the case? Yeah. Because again, I'm going to read what I said before. Because Hitler was not just a lunatic who wanted to kill the Jews. He was somebody who recognized the virtues of living homogeneously. Yeah. This is what he was. This was his message. Yeah. His message was low crime, get rid of degenerate art, live with your kind of people.
Or participate.
Or participate, yes. Yeah. Or participate.
Stop subverting.
Stop subverting. Stop doing these. These things were the reason why people voted for him. These are the reason why people loved him. Yeah. They loved him because of that. They didn't love him because of his Jew agenda. Most of them didn't even know about the Jew agenda. Right? I know. They loved him because of those things. When they started to take the Jews out of there, some of them will think that it was kind of weird, but he was telling them, no, we're putting them in a camp. We're putting them over here. So they're like, okay, we're accepting. And many of the Nazis were just kind of going along with it. Yeah. Many of them were horrified when they found out about the gassing of them.
They made him walk through Dachau and stuff.
Yes. I mean, they were horrified by this because they weren't aware of it. This was not a winning message.
Like they weren't exposed, or they were like willingly
ignorant. Yes, yeah. But it was like this. It's not a winning message. Yeah. He could not have stand up there on a podium and be like, "Let's gas the Jews, vote for me." Yeah. Nobody would vote for him. Yeah. Because in order to win the election, you have to extol the virtues of whatever you're running for. Yeah. This is what the left does all the time. Like Stalin killed more people than Hitler.
Oh, easily. By a huge amount.
By a huge amount, right?
Mao killed more than Stalin.
Yes. And then you literally have a branch of the Democratic Party calling themselves Democratic Socialists.
Or communists.
It was just simply communists, yes. You have Bernie Sanders, you have like AOC people,
like literally saying that. Sickles and hammers and
yes.
stuff. And it's like,
and why do they do that? Why do they get to do that? Because what they're recognizing is the virtues of socialism. And I would say socialism has less virtues than Nazism. Yeah. But the virtues in which they do have is being anti-individualism. Yeah. Yes, that is. I mean, it is good to live communally.
Individualism is dumb.
Yes, individualism is dumb. Communal living is better. And so when the communists extol the virtue of community, extol the virtue of I'm still having some. Okay. Of communal living and living that way, that is a good in which they could explicate and form an entire branch of the Democratic Party.
The Soviets also had incredible aesthetic taste.
Yes, but so did the Nazis.
Yes, I know. The whole like 20th century.
Yes, or the Italian fascists.
Was an aesthetic masterpiece.
It was, yes, yeah,
all of it.
But you don't have like Republicans saying, no, we're a new type of Republicans. We're the Nazi Republicans. Yeah. It's like you don't have that because they made
National Socialists.
Yes, yeah.
What about Democratic National Socialists?
Yes, yeah. We're that kind of Republican. No. The reason why is because we have demonized him. And this was another thing that we talked about on the episode. We literally have made Hitler into a demigod. Yeah, we have said that he is like the dark god. He is just absolute evil. Like it's a new form of Zoroastrianism. Yeah. It's like you have this dark god, and Hitler is the presentation of the dark god.
Trump.
Yes, and Trump and anybody within that sphere. And then you have someone like MLK, and he's the Christ figure. Yeah. He's the one that died for our sins. He died.
Jesus really was black.
Yes, yeah, Jesus really was black. There was this TikTok video of a little girl saying, Martin Luther King, he died for our sins. Like literally. Woo! All right. This is the way that the left looks at it. Let me look that up so people can know that this is this is a real thing. And so or I'll do it when I'm done with my spiel. But yeah, and so you have these two figures. And so my point in that episode was literally to take down both of these gods, to say that both the Hitler and the MLK are just human.
Yeah.
They're both human. And so since Hitler is the dark god, I'm going to say the things that which he extolled, the virtues of homogeneity, and I'm going to focus on that because we already agree. Do I have to say it? We already agree that gassing the Jews was not a good thing.
Yeah.
We already know the evils of Hitler. We say it all the fucking time. We all went to the same schools. We've all been indoctrinated with the same bullshit. Yes, Hitler did stupid things. Hitler killed Jews. All these things are bad. These things are wrong. Fine. I don't care about that. What I care about is his humanity. And as a human being, he is composite. As a composite, he is both good and bad. Yeah. He has both good and evil traits. His traits about getting rid of degenerate art is a fucking good thing. That is a good fucking thing. They have done experiments in the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s with the behaviorists where they put a child inside of a room and listen to atonal music. Those kids ended up killing themselves because that is what degenerate art does to people. Yeah. When you have this deformity of sound, that distorts it with atonality, it drives people insane. He recognized that and he said, we have to get rid of that shit. Yeah. That is a good fucking thing.
Yeah.
All right. That's why I'm saying I want to focus on his humanity because as a Catholic, I do not think Hitler is fully God. I do not think Hitler is the devil. I do not think Hitler is absolute evil. He is a human being. As a human being, he did evil things. He did bad things. Fine. Now let's look at MLK. Everybody wants to just talk about MLK in a good light. Look, he's just a good person. Look at him. He is fucking Jesus himself. And he died. He died for us. He died for all of us. It's like, fuck you. No, he didn't. You know what he was? Fine. Did he believe in something good in terms of getting rid of racism? Fine. Yeah, we all agree with that. We should get rid of racism. I don't give a shit anymore. I want to look at his humanity. What other things did he do? Yes, he was a fucking serial rapist. Yes, he gave a stupid speech and got shot and did nothing in the end. Yeah. And the only reason why we remember him is because he got shot, because he gave that speech that really in the end was irrational and incoherent. Yes. And so that's what I'm saying. I want to recognize both of their humanity because I want to destroy the religion of the left. The left's religion of upholding these two figures as their own demigods with their weird Zoroastrianism reality, because everything for them is dualistic. It's because now you have transgenderism, it's a woman trapped in a man's body or vice versa. Everything it has become a Zoroastrian philosophy. Mm-hmm. So fuck them. Fuck the left. Fuck the people that believe this. And fuck anybody that wants to say that I was like a Nazi sympathizer or a fucking racist. Both of these people were human. Fuck MLK and fuck fucking Hitler. I don't give a shit about both of them. And I don't give a shit about either of them. They're both pieces of shits. I'm a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. Everybody listen is a piece of shit because we all are fucking sinners. And I pray to God every day that Hitler asked for forgiveness, and I pray that MLK asked for forgiveness before he got shot in the fucking head. Because that is what's important. Everything else, fuck it. Yeah. All right, that's it.
Well, that's the point.
Yes.
I don't know. I just
fucking ridiculous.
I know. Do you feel like something demonic is going on?
Yes.
It has to be demonic.
Of course.
Do you feel
too many people are converting? That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, because that's what I've.
I
don't know if we go there right away, but that's how I've felt the last few days. Like,
well, I think 100%.
I've experienced demonic apparitions.
I think it's 100% that.
I think that's why the people I know are going to they're delusional.
Yeah.
About what's happening.
Yep.
I don't know. Something about that article was evil.
I know. Yes. It's horrible.
I feel like this might be the launch. This might be because that's kind of what I've been thinking about. Is there's a certain restlessness that comes with. Restlessness might be disrespectfully euphemistic when you're talking about literally having a demonic apparition. Anybody that's experienced something like that, it's you're pretty restless. Exorcists help people not be restless anymore. But there is a specific flavor to the unease you experience.
There is, yes.
And you know it when you know it kind of
and
thing.
I felt it more this time than I ever had in my entire life.
If there's something,
yes,
like, when I said satanic gender demons, like I meant it.
Yeah.
And there's just like the when I was talking about people in my life reacting negatively or being concerned with the things I was saying or whatever, like, they read the article and they no longer knew who I was or something.
Yeah. Can I ask the number? Like how many people?
Like 4 or 5.
Wow.
Yeah. But there has to be something there that feels like when I'm talking to, again, I don't want to name anybody, but like when I have conversations about, what's happened this week and the peace and your response and my, my friendship with you, and like I've had a couple people who be like, Jeremy's manipulating you or whatever. I'm like, what? Like, no, no.
Yeah.
No. There's probably no one on earth less capable of manipulating me at this point than you.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
I see right through everything.
Yes, yeah.
But it just feels like there is a possession to the response.
No, there is, yeah.
There has to be.
Yeah, because in the end, we are attacking this modern religion.
That's the point. You started our first episode with we should start with how the contemporary world is insane.
It's insane.
That was
exactly.
your line.
Yes.
That was something like your line.
Yeah. And that's what we are doing. And we expose it to many people. And it's not that much, not that many right now, but I think it's growing.
Yeah.
And I think the more that it grows, the more dangerous it is.
It's hundreds of people.
Yes.
Our audience isn't massive.
Yeah.
It's definitely.
Yeah. But I do think it's going to keep growing. I think it's going to keep growing.
Yeah.
And we are one of the few that I would say attacks it direct. We're not doing it through like political means. We're not like the Daily Wire who attacks just like the leftist world through politics. I think we do it at the heart of what the issue is.
I think that's why we actually don't talk about the Jews very much.
Yes.
I think that's why you and I are both not, sorry, burped. We're like explicitly not on board with the concept, the Jews run everything.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
We don't believe in a one world order. We don't believe in the quote unquote globalists. We don't believe in any of that.
Right.
We've never ever said anything about the Jews running everything.
I know we didn't. Yeah.
Ever.
No.
Like that's actually
because we think that's a distraction as well.
Yeah, it is.
It's like
it's its own possession.
Yes. When you just focus on that, you miss the real thing. Like I remember when I talk to people that believe in the globalist and everything, I tend to bring it up. I was like, no, because they tend to see correct relations, right?
Yeah.
You see the correct relations, but I would say that the main distraction is that I don't think that is like a cabal of Jews hiding under a basement going to Davos.
Yeah.
What I think it is simply the devil.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, it is the devil. The devil is the prince of this world, and he has manipulated everyone, and he distracts them as to not look at him. Yeah. The difference with you and I is that we look directly at him and be like, "You're the son of a bitch."
Yeah,
and
the
I
building
think
starts shaking.
Yes, yeah, and I think that's why it feels extra demonic, because when you feel that darkness, when you feel the darkness that this thing pervaded, you know what it is. And the thing about me, and I guess about you too, is that we're insane.
Yeah.
And
we have no sense of self-preservation.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to preserve.
Yeah. It's like, no, I will die for the truth.
That's your job.
Yes.
As a person.
And there is nothing that the devil can do, and I fear no man.
I know.
And so it is like, well, what then is it that I do fear? I fear God, and that's in God alone.
Yeah, I know.
And so, and that's really what it is in the end. And so,
because that would be my question. I think I asked this last time we discussed it. Is when people who say that Jews run everything, and you have to like exercise the the Jewish population from society, and then everything will be fine. It's like, do you actually believe we live in a fallen world or not?
Yes, yeah.
Because once the Jews are gone, because you can say like Jewish people have outsized influence in certain
Of course,
circles,
yeah.
but like black people have outsized influence in popular music.
Of course, yeah.
And that doesn't seem to be a problem.
And if you get rid of the Jews, it's just going to be other pieces of shit.
Yes,
that goes
I know.
there.
It's like there's like Asians in computer design or whatever, whatever. There's like certain people have outsized influences in different areas based on their propensities as in their cultural propensities or ethnic propensities. Like they just do, Judaism.
Yes.
Whatever that is, really it prepares you to have a certain aptitude in areas. It's a very legalistic religion. So you kind of grow like that's your catechesis in Judaism is in legality.
Yep.
So like when you see that there's a lot of Jewish lawyers, it's like, well, that's what they're catechized in doing.
Yes.
That's what they're doing. That's what they do. And it's not like you can, it's not just like getting rid of the Jews in society. It's like, okay, well, we're done here. Thanks.
Exactly.
Thanks, Christ.
Yes. Yeah. It's
we did it for you. Like,
yes,
what's the point?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not going to end anything. It's
let me see what one of my friends said. I will never name who said this.
Yeah.
Let me see exactly what he said. Because I really liked this. I want to find the exact quote because I want to read exactly how it. Okay, so it was after this point. It's just I know he listens.
Yeah.
Let me read what he said, and like he knows who he is, and I'm sure he'll appreciate me saying something. I was talking about how there's just kind of a schizophrenic quality to the to the Jew obsession. And his quotes were weird obsession, fallen world and original sin covers that dog.
Yeah.
They have like an inability to see like what came before in the world.
They do. Yes.
This is what he said is searching for an easy explanation when the easiest explanation is evil exists, demonic influence exists, people have the capacity to sin, and that will continue until kingdom come.
Yes.
Is stupid. Like it's just it was beautiful. I just did a Matt Frad. He concluded that with Christ died and rose, the battle is over. Like you're done. You just it's weird. Yeah, the rest is clean up, pick up your cross, and get heading down the well-worn path. Like,
yes,
some group of people is going to control the levers of power, and they're going to be shitty.
Yeah,
and whatever.
Yes,
I'm not saying it's not the Jews. I don't know if it's the Jews.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't care.
Me either. Yes,
that's not my job.
Yeah,
your job is like go to mass.
Yep.
Pray the rosary.
Yeah.
Love people. Have a family.
Yep.
Be a priest.
Spread the gospel.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter what the.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care what the Jews are doing.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
Cool. I'll pray for those people too. Like I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
My life is actually kind of materially pretty okay.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable.
Yeah, we're comfortable in the modern world, man.
If the Jews run everything, I think we're doing. I mean, there's a lot of trans people. I don't know. I don't know who's doing what.
Yeah, yeah.
But like when it's not even a rejection of the anthropology or the like the practical explanation of what's going on. It's once someone starts doing that, I turn off.
Yes.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Well, I received the Eucharist on Sunday, and whatever thing you're telling me doesn't really feel like it matters.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Give me 1 second.
Because that's another thing. Is someone messaging you?
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Do I know the person?
I don't know. He wrote to us that he wants to do an episode with us, like Leighton Radner. He has a podcast.
Oh, is he the guy that lives on the peninsula?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if we're doxing him. I don't know if you're allowed to. I think his name is on stuff. I think he had stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere.
But yeah, and so I'm just responding to him. I said, yeah, sure. He just told me that he's available on Sunday. Monday, I most likely can't because...
well, we can figure something out.
Yeah.
But,
so, I'm just saying I'll get back to him soon.
I don't really remember what I was saying. Because we don't fundamentally care about politics.
No.
And I think anybody who listens to the show knows that.
Yes, yeah.
Because we say that all the time. We think Trump is funny.
Yes.
And
I mean, I would vote for him if he... Yeah, of course I would, yeah. I partake to a I think a reasonable degree. Like there's
it is a little bit selfish. You just want to see, you want to see that.
Yes, yeah. I want to see that, yeah. I also want like to have lower...
But my thing, and this is...
better prices on things.
Yeah. There are practical reasons to do that too. But my problem and with the, Francis is an anti-pope, or, Benedict's resignation was invalid. It's kind of the general talking points. Is that, do you believe that the church is guided by the Holy Spirit or not?
Yes, yeah.
If you don't, go away. If you do, it'll be fine.
Yes, yeah.
Those are the two answers.
Yeah.
You cannot like your priest. You cannot an archbishop. You cannot like the Pope.
Yeah,
the Pope can be a dumbass.
Yeah.
The Pope can say a lot of horrible, dumb, out of context, badly worded things, which I would say currently occurs. I would say a lot of stupid shit happens in the Vatican right now.
Yes, I would agree.
But if the church is the seat of the most full truth we possess as people, as human beings, then it's fine. It's gonna be fine. It's the emergency thing. Because anything that schisms from the church is heresy.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not like, because there's no provision for a sect of the church to schism off.
Yes.
And be the actual church.
Yeah.
It's the church.
Yeah.
And the church is in place. Anything that is not that is not the church.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's annoying to me as a Protestant that I have to explain this, but like, you don't get to be the church 4,000 miles away and it's like people
Right.
You're not the real church.
Yeah.
And the Vatican isn't.
Yes. Yeah.
There have been many, many, many shitty popes. Like, it's
and there will continue to be
way worse than Francis.
Yeah. Definitely.
The church has suffered.
Francis is pretty much like JP2.
It's not like Francis.
A little more lib.
That's only like 30 years ago.
I know
it was, but like, it's not like Francis has moved the Vatican to Avignon or something. It's not like
what was it, like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when he went out there and talked about the horrors of transgenderism and shit.
Yes, it's like
yes,
the guy is not fantastic.
Yes,
he doesn't really speak succinctly or well.
Yes,
or like,
but many times he says what's true.
But he's the Pope.
Yes, yeah.
And
he's not an intellect. You read Amoris Laetitia, it's fine.
But I imagine if you went to confession with him, you'd cry harder.
Oh, probably.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's just a not intellecty South American guy.
I know. Yeah.
Just let him be that.
Yes, he was who God chose to be the Pope.
Like, he's not a he's not like a Polish autist. Or
yes,
like,
yeah, exactly.
A German whiz kid. He's not,
but
which can speak to you.
Yeah.
But I feel like having a Benedict and then not having a Benedict anymore would like make you angrier.
Yeah, I think so. Because you have to like go through the entire JP. And that's what's funny. That I'll say it again, but so many conservatives now who reflect and love JP2 hated him when he was the Pope, which I find humorous. And it's like, you can't bullshit me. I lived during those times too. But But yeah, I think that's what it was. Like you went through all that, and he was Pope for so fucking long. What was it, like 30 years?
Yeah.
I think, 30 years he was Pope. And then, or maybe 20 some years. But anyways, it was a long time, like through the 80s and everything. And then you have finally Ratzinger, and it becomes Benedict. And it's like, holy shit, this guy's amazing.
200 years ago. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was the early 2000s, and you were just hyped up for him. It's like, this is going to be awesome. And then like 10 years later, he decides to retire. It's like, why? Just stay there as long
Can
as...
that be valid? Do you know how the process works?
It apparently was valid, yeah, but I'm not too familiar with it. It hasn't happened that often. I think they said it only happened a few times in history.
It's like 3 or something.
Yeah.
It's really, really rare.
Yeah. But he, but yeah, and then why the Holy Spirit wanted Francis, I don't know. I can speculate, but I'm always going to speculate with believing that it was the correct choice.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
because you're Catholic.
yes, yeah,
If you don't, you're not Catholic.
yeah, and so whatever
It's literally
know,
apostasy
mm-hmm.
to believe otherwise.
Yes, yeah, it is.
Like it's un-Catholic to believe otherwise.
Yeah, but
I don't know who we're going to be pissing off today, but like
about the Pope. Yeah,
it's
but
like that's the point.
it is. You just trust in it. You trust in God and saying like, okay, well, this is your choice, and let it be.
You don't have to have a picture of him on your fridge if
Yeah.
you don't want. You don't have to like.
And you could just in your head just be like, well, I'm not God.
Why not just like?
And so yeah.
Why not just pray for the guy?
Yes. Yeah.
Why not just ask for some intercessory,
Yes.
intercession in the life of Pope Francis, that maybe he'll find the right thing to say at the right time or whatever. Like you could just do that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That'll be the Catholic thing to do.
I just don't understand the need. I don't understand
It's because they
how did I grow up a Protestant? I don't get it.
yeah, I know. That is pretty
Because I
interesting
didn't
actually.
really grow up a Protestant.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever.
Believed it fully.
No.
Yeah. But you got those like adorable pictures of you going to those Protestant camps.
I know it was a good upbringing.
Yeah.
And I think it really laid the ground for what would come later.
Yeah.
But I definitely never
fully.
No,
believed
not
it.
if I'm saying this. I literally
Yes.
don't get it.
Yeah.
When I say, when someone's like, well, why should I be Catholic, not Protestant? Like, because Catholics have real sacraments. And they're like, well, that's dumb. I'm like, wow. It just doesn't even, I don't even know how to move past them. Like,
yeah.
sacraments are real.
Yeah.
And the ones doing them are the Catholics.
Yeah. There was this old lady, and it was years ago now. It was when Father Bramble was running the cathedral.
Father Bramble?
Yeah.
Is that his last name?
Yeah.
What
Father Bramble.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fake person.
He got the Michael J. Fox disease, and then he kind of just
I'm imagining the Family Guy thing where he has a
Yeah.
wine on the tray.
so he couldn't practice anymore. Like he just became a monastic priest after that.
Beautiful.
But then he got an operation, so now he can at least. It was an experimental operation, so he could at least stay still. But it kind of cripples his spine a little. But
Is he still alive?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think so. Anyways, he might have died, but I saw him about 2 years ago. He came back for
How old
a
was he?
visiting priest. He's not even that old. Probably like 50 something.
Whoa.
Yeah, he got
That's
it young.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, 50, 60. But he's definitely not past 60.
Dang.
But yeah, so he has like a metal plate in his hand now because he did the experimental surgery, and it helps him like actually stay still. But he's like crippled like this, like he can't move his neck. Really.
He celebrates now?
Yeah,
Dang.
yeah. And so yeah, but it was when he was priest, and he was like a really good speaker. Like he was a really good homilist. That was his virtue, right? He knew how to speak to a large crowd. He was very charismatic, and it was pretty good. Mm-hmm. But there was this one old lady who was a convert, and she converted a long time ago. But at this point, she was like 80 years old, and she always bothered him. Like she would talk to him about things that would just bother her in church. This was back in the day when John Paul II was the Pope, and so she would like, rage against, Pope John Paul II having his Pope mobile, having his like white sneakers, going to a concert, doing all these things, that he was just a former actor. How is he like, a legitimate pope. And so it's like she was like really, really always angry about him. But then she was also angry about other things within the church that were just really bothering her. And then at one point he said, this was one of his homilies. He said he just got really, really pissed at her. And he was like, "Why are you Catholic? Every day you come here and you complain. Why are you Catholic?" Mm-hmm. And she said, "It's because it's the only place where I could actually receive Christ." Mm-hmm. And it's what you're saying is because she said, this is the only place where there's the actual real sacraments. Mm-hmm. It's like, because of that, I can't deny it.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that is the most profound thing.
That's the entire, because I don't know, especially if you're talking about, like a Baptist or something who's like really fundamentally very anti-sacramental.
Yeah.
The entire purpose of the Catholic Church, mm-hmm. Western, Eastern, globally, wherever, the entire purpose of the church and its existence is to administer the sacraments.
Yeah.
If you without sacraments, there wouldn't. No, why would you have to?
Exactly. Catholic?
Yeah. When you get to the issue of the Protestant versus Catholic divide and, walking people across the line is to explain and justify the validity of the sacraments. That's all it is.
Yes.
100%. The conversation with my mom or my sister, whoever, all the Protestants in my life, like that is literally the divide.
It is. Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yep. Yeah.
Because especially in the US,
mm-hmm.
Catholics are just as petty as Protestants.
Yeah.
They're just as puritanical as Protestants.
Yeah,
there's culturally, they're like,
yeah, you also have like the liberal Catholics too.
Yes. Yeah. But like the church is universal and the culture of the church largely reflects the culture in which it exists.
Yep. Yeah.
Always. But the reason it's valid is because it is the administrator, the minister of the sacraments.
Yeah, that's the reason.
That's the only reason it exists.
Yeah, that's why there's a mass.
The only reason the church exists is to administer the sacraments.
Because then that's when we get the sanctifying graces.
That is it.
Yep.
And I think that's probably the problem. That's probably the thing I fail to explain properly.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing, that we like on the show
mm-hmm.
when we're talking. I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
That we walk people through.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Because that's the only reason to convert. There's no.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I just have an aesthetic preference, so I think I'll go over there, and then you just get lucky.
Right.
You're like, oh, their art's nicer.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. And that is the reason. And even for people who bitch, it's like you have to at least believe the legitimacy of the church and for the administration of the sacraments.
Yeah.
Because without that, and then what's the point? Why are you there?
Yeah.
Why are you Catholic?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, when you complain about Francis, it's like, well, he still can administer. They're still administering the sacraments.
Yes, exactly.
So just pray for it.
Yes, yeah.
Because what else are you going to do?
Yeah, you're not going to change it. God didn't choose you to be Pope. Maybe that's what they're really angry about.
I don't know.
Why couldn't it be me? It's because you decided to get married.
So you have 8 children?
Yes, yeah.
Wait, do you know if the Eastern Catholics do the thing with that the Eastern Orthodox do, where only bishops have to be unmarried?
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Because I know that in Eastern Orthodoxy, bishops plus, so bishops all the way up to the
have to be unmarried,
all the way up to the not pope. So bishops, so the hierarchy from bishop all the way up
to the first
among equals,
among equals. Damn it,
not called the pope. Different color.
Well, yeah, I mean, he is. Okay.
No, I know. No, he's not. There are other ones called pope.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
Okay, yeah.
The different colored one in the ring or whatever.
Yeah.
They can't be married.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But priests, like diocesan priests, if
I know
can be married.
I know the Eastern Church, they only can be married if they were married before they went to take their vows. They can't get married afterwards.
Oh.
And so if you become
but I would imagine, I would feel like that would be the same rule.
In Orthodox, maybe. I'm not sure.
No, in Eastern Catholicism,
Yeah.
I would imagine that bishops can't be married.
Probably, yeah.
Because you can't
Right.
be married both to the church and your
Yes.
spouse.
Yeah.
But if you're just there to administer the Eucharist or something, I feel like that responsibility might not be
Right. Yeah.
might not conflict with.
Yeah.
Because and there's a married priesthood and a non-married priesthood. And it's like there's a non-married priesthood in the West, and then in the East there's a non-married priesthood asterisk. It's not just you can all be married.
Yeah.
They can't be married in positions of political authority.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
So there's a little bit of a stipulation.
Yeah.
Which is a massive one. Because you couldn't there wouldn't ever be a pope who's married from the East.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Definitely.
It can't be. There wouldn't be.
Could you imagine if there was like an Eastern Pope? I guess Polish is kind of East, right?
No, they're Western Catholics.
The Western, okay.
It's Poland, Lithuania, Croatia.
They're all Western.
They're Slavs, but they're Western Catholics.
Oh, okay.
They're not Eastern.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have Eastern, heightened Eastern Catholic populations, but they're majority.
They're more.
Croatia is extremely Western Catholic.
Yeah. They probably have just.
I think Montenegro as well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If I remember right.
Yeah.
Bosnia is all Muslims, Mohammedans.
Yes, yeah.
Albania is all Mohammedans.
Yeah.
Serbia is half
The
Mohammedans.
Mohammedans. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, this week has been exhausting.
It has.
You feeling good right now?
Yeah.
Are we done?
I think so.
We only got an hour and a half.
Oh, really?
That was a very intense.
It was, yeah.
Hopefully no one sound bites that.
Hopefully they do.
I just want to sleep.
I know.
I just want to sleep comfortably and not worry about anything.
Yeah. That's not going to happen for a while, probably.
I know. We'll see.
Yeah. But at least I'm crazy enough to have fun with it.
I know.
Really...
I'm crazy enough to let you have fun with it.
Yeah.
You're built for it more than me, but
yeah.
As long as I know you're fine, I'm fine.
Oh, yeah.
It's the second if I saw you crack, I think I'd fall apart.
Right. Yeah.
So now you're responsible for my sanity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that was when you went radio silent.
Yeah.
My only worry was if he's not fine, I'm fucked. But if he comes out fine and he's laughing, and I just know that, I can do anything.
Mm.
But I'm I can't, because you're the psycho about this stuff.
Yeah.
And if you're feeling the pressure and cracking, I'm there's no way me, a normal person, is going to do this.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're in Alaska. We have no support network.
I know. And I think the main thing is, I think this next week, probably for the next few months, actually there'll probably be a little break in between, but definitely next week, it's hopefully, if everything goes well, the thing's going to be heightened to the next level.
We'll see. You wish. All right. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
Bye.